Hey, welcome back. I'm John Marshall, and we're Suncoast MPI TV coming to you live. And as we said in the opening segment, our members are true rock stars. We're seat specific. So as the owner, I am much more interested in the member than the membership check. And so we are actually always looking for people that are rock stars in the categories, that have servant's heart, and that are committed to the commitment to make our chapters thrive. And the gentleman I have sitting right across from me, Mr. Cyrus Malhotra, he brings it all. He brings all three of those to the table, and I love having you as a member. I love actually getting to know you, and you're just incredible at what you do, but you're an incredible person, and I'm delighted to have you on the show today,
Thanks
Cyrus.
so much, John. Likewise.
So let's just jump in. This is all about you. So what about you? Tell me a little bit more about you and your law practice, Cyrus.
Sure. Well, my name's Cyrus Malhotra, and I started the Malhotra Law Firm in 2008. We're currently headquartered in Tampa Bay, Florida, but we have offices throughout the state, and we focus primarily on personal injury, estate planning, and probate law.
Wow. Okay, I gotcha. So why should I? I'm out there. Something happens. I get in an accident. Why should I hire a personal injury attorney if I've been hurt, Cyrus?
That's a great question, John. And there's many reasons to hire a personal injury attorney, but the most important reason is to ensure fair, adequate, and timely compensation for damages sustained in a car accident. Good personal injury attorneys also have networks of medical providers that they can connect their clients with depending on their situation. Every case is unique. It's not a one-size-fits-all.
Gotcha. That's great. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I just came up here on 19. It's pretty busy on 19. There's a lot of accidents happen on 19.
Absolutely, unfortunately.
And every billboard I see, it's like a different injury. It's a different injury lawyer.
Yes.
What's up with that? Why should the viewers out here, Cyrus, consider you and your law firm?
Well, here are the top 5 reasons to hire the Malhotra Law Firm for your personal injury case. Number 1, I personally visit every one of my clients at their home, hospital, or other convenient location. I don't send a paralegal. I don't send an assistant. Every client meets with their attorney. Number 2, we help with car repairs. Most law firms don't. Number 3, we can connect our clients to the right medical professionals who will wait until the case is resolved to get paid. Most of the times, this results in no out-of-pocket costs to the clients for their medical treatment. Number 4, if the insurance company doesn't play fair, we're not afraid to sue them, and they know that. And the last reason is if there's no recovery from the insurance company, the client doesn't owe us a dime. If the insurance company doesn't pay our client, the client doesn't have to pay us. To learn more about our personal injury practice, please visit empoweringtheinjured.com.
That's awesome, Cyrus. That's great. That's great information. Great information for me just sitting here. So, I'm stacked. I have all kinds of coverage. I'm covered, right? And maybe I'm sure people are out there as well. So, but am I really, or if we have all this kind of full coverage insurance, are we truly covered in an accident?
That's
Cyrus?
a great question, John. And in the state of Florida, a basic full coverage insurance policy may not provide bodily injury protection because it's not currently required by the state of Florida. There are currently only 2 types of insurance coverages that can cover not just economic damages, which would be medical expenses, but non-economic damages, such as pain and suffering. The first is bodily injury protection, which you hope the at-fault party has.
Gotcha.
The second type of insurance coverage is uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. It's the same thing. Wow. And this is what's found on your policy. So to clarify, the only way for you to be 100% covered in the event of an accident is to ensure that you have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage on your policy. Please, I implore you, take 15 minutes tonight when you get home, review your policy. If you don't have uninsured motorist coverage, add it. I recommend a minimum of $100,000 per incident and quite possibly more.
Wow. Yeah, so forget tonight. This is live. Go look at it now, because you never
Absolutely.
know that accident's going to happen. It could happen on the way out the door for us,
Right.
So, hey, I want to ask you about this probate. You talked about probate earlier. You mentioned it. What actually is it?
Probate is the court-supervised process of transferring assets from a decedent's name into a beneficiary's name. In other words, we help heirs transfer assets to them which are rightfully theirs, either by Florida statute or through a last will and testament.
Okay, that's great. And so I moved here. I'm not local from Florida. I came here from California. So probably, I'm sure other people might be thinking the same thing, but that's on top of my mind. What are the different types of probate specifically in Florida?
Sure. So in the state of Florida, there are a few options available. However, the 2 main types of probate would either be a formal administration or a summary administration. Now, a summary administration is a more abbreviated version of probate, but it's only available in certain circumstances. Number 1, the decedent passed away more than 2 years ago, Or number two, the value of all non-exempt property is less than $75,000. In addition to these statutory requirements, all information must be known up front for summary administration. So account numbers, balances must all be known.
Wow. Okay, that's a mouthful. That's a lot of information right there. So
Yes.
you just made a comment here. I'm looking at my notes. You made a comment that you could do a summary administration if the value of all non-exempt property is less than $75,000.
Correct.
But what does that actually mean? What is exempt property?
It's a great question, John. In the state of Florida, when we're dealing with creditors, creditors can only go after non-exempt assets. Conversely, they can't attach their claims. When I say creditors, meaning credit card companies, medical bills, they can't attach claims to any exempt property. In the state of Florida, there are three classes of exempt property that creditors cannot touch, in addition to the homestead residence. The homestead residence would be the primary residence that the decedent owned at the time of passing, which would also be exempt. But in addition to that, we have household furnishings and belongings, up to 2 personal vehicles, and qualified tuition programs.
Wow. Okay. So let's bring it back to you. So Malhotra law firm, excuse me, different from other law firms, right? So what makes you different from other law firms that offer probate services?
The Malhotra Law Firm offers affordable, flat-fee probate solutions throughout Florida. We have offices throughout the state, and operators are standing by 24/7 to take your call. We routinely save our clients thousands of dollars, and I invite anyone with a probate issue to call us toll-free at 877-WE-PROBATE or visit us online at 877weprobate.com to schedule a free consultation today.
Awesome, Cyrus. So, you know, I don't know, best attorney even that's been on the show. I think you're like the top 1% for sure.
I made him say that.
No. So again, like Suncoast MPI, you're an MPI member, and again, honored to have you. And what we're looking for are rock stars in the category, and you are definitely that, Cyrus. Not only just in what you do for your career, but as I know a family man, and so just a delight to have you on the show. So before we go there, so you're a rock star at what you do. So, but you have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful son. So maybe let's make this a little personal. You want to do that?
Sure. Of
Is that
course.
okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So how about telling the audience how you met your wife?
Of course, I will. And before we get into that, I just wanted to say, I mean, NPI has been extremely helpful to growing my law firm. When I decided that law was really going to be my sole source of income, NPI was one of the first moves I made, and I've received a steady source of business since then. And that's not something John knew I was going to say, so I just wanted to let the viewers know that. But
I appreciate that.
It's a story that a lot of people know where the only reason I came to Tampa, I grew up in South Florida.
Okay.
And my whole intention was to live in Boca Raton until I was old and retired. And the only reason I came to Tampa was to take the bar exam. If you want to be an attorney in the state of Florida, you have to come to Tampa Convention Center twice a year. And that's where they have the bar exam. So I got there a few days early. I just went into Publix to get a sub, and I walked right into my wife in the middle of the aisle, and I asked her out. And so as soon as I finished the exam, we went out for our first date. And then 6 months later, we were engaged. 6 months later, we got married. And but she said, "Listen, I have a very tight-knit Italian family. So if you want to marry me, you got the whole package."
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
I left everyone and everything I knew, and I moved up to Tampa for a girl, and it worked out.
Wow.
Yeah, so now we have one son. He's 6 years old, and they're just a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome. I see you guys out on social media and out on vacation all the time, and you guys always have a smile on your face. So we have like a minute or so. You want to share maybe, there's some quotes or something, or maybe a mentor that stands out for you to kind of...
The biggest thing I can say is that for anyone out there who's thinking about taking a step, opening up a business, or whatever it may be, just remember that a year from now, you'll wish you started today. So if you're thinking about doing that, if you're thinking about taking the plunge, do it.
Yeah, I love that. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Today's the present. That's the reason it's a gift, right?
Yes.
Don Yerkes is going to like that if he hears this, right? How about at the last question here? What about a goal that you have? A goal that you have in front of you?
Sure. So my goal within 5 years is to be licensed in 10 states.
To license in 10 states?
Be licensed in 10 states.
Wow.
Correct.
Nicely done.
Yep.
And the ticker meter is like exploding. They're like, we want more Cyrus. We want more Cyrus. I'm sorry, what? They said 20 more minutes? Is that what I heard? Oh my goodness gracious.
I can do some juggling. I'm out of material.
So we do have a little bit of time. So what's some motivation? You know, I think like some of the things that motivate you and that kind of get you to move forward. Like, you know, I always think about like good, better, best. Never let it rest. Tell the good is better.
And the better's best.
The better's best.
Yes,
You've heard me say that before, haven't
absolutely.
you? Do you have something that like kind of is your motivation?
You know, it's really honestly, and I don't mean to sound cheesy about this, but really my clients are my motivation. I truly, it's very hard to see someone who's just been in an accident and in a lot of pain. I always wondered how that would be, and it's not an easy thing to see.
Right.
But what really gets me going is to make sure that they're getting the treatment that they need, they're getting the help
Right.
that they need, and they're getting fixed and they're getting better. To have a client look at you and say, you know, after a year and a half of not being able to feel my arm because it's been numb after this procedure,
Right.
I can feel it again. I can lift, I can carry my baby again.
Yeah.
And, you know, to hear something like that, that's, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about
Yeah.
it. It really, it makes you realize the money is a very, very secondary to this whole process.
Gotcha.
You know, so that's what gets me going.
That's awesome, Cyrus. And I got goosebumps too looking at it. And you know, so like, you get like the last 30 seconds to close this out. So I see an accident, something happens, God forbid. What's the proper way to kind of get your word out for
Sure.
word of mouth?
No, that's a great question. So in any kind of an accident, you want to make sure that you're in a safe location, take as many pictures as you can, remember any statements that are said, try not to make any statements, and of course make sure that a police report is filed. As long as you do all of those things at an accident scene, you're in decent shape. You also want to make sure that you seek medical treatment within 14 days. If you don't seek treatment within 14 days, your personal injury protection may not apply.
Yeah, that's great. And you know what we like to say at Suncoast NPI? You were awesome. Suncoast NPI, Cyrus, when we pull together,
We all win.
great job, Cyrus. Thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot.